That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
if I were to check out tomorrow, I've had more than most people ever had.
Very good. Will you, if you were to check out tomorrow, would they still let you have your voice on public TV?
I guess so, because they'd have to take an awful lot of.
Yeah, because I'm in the other room and I'll hear your voice, so I gotta go in and check and see who you're advertising for, if it's Victor Lundin or who it is,
I do that every day.
Every day, huh?
Every day, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure beats working for a living, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
We broke our snowblower down.
Oh, is that right?
It was a 2-inch shaft that crystallized just from tension.
Really cold days.
Yeah. And we're waiting for one from Canada.
The dry shaft on my head.
Now,
$1,300 for both these.
now, your snowplow, when you say the snowplow, are you talking about?
Snowblower, that goes
Oh, the
on
snowblower.
bucket.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could copy, just take it down to Snell Welding down at Hayfay and have them copy it, so make sure we've got a spare.
Yeah. When it's cold like it was, stuff breaks that just normally wouldn't break, And I had trouble with my snowblower, the power takeoff, it's a power takeoff, but then there's a roller chain that runs the meters and that, that blower's only probably 3 seasons old, and it stretched that roller chain out so it would jump a cog, and I got it fixed, no big deal, but just when it's cold, just stuff like that happens.
I never put a roller chain in mine, but I put into, I had it rebuilt once and I bought a brand new gearbox last year.
My shovel has never broken.
That was $300 just for the gearbox, it was $350.
You wear hand warmers in your gloves when you're using that.
I've never seen the parking lot as full as it is today.
Boy, she's full. Must be 9 o'clock, isn't it?
I think I'm over at the Methodist
I'm
Church.
over 9.
I'm not sure.
I'm over 9. Over 9 or?
It's 9 right now. Soon it will be 9:01.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, February 12th, and time for our weekly Cudahy County Board of County Commissioners meeting. We'll open the meeting with Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And Charlie, you want to lead us this morning?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Charlie. A couple of housekeeping chores as usual. If you have a cell phone, please silence it or turn it off. If you get a call that you need to take, please step out into the rotunda so you don't interrupt the meeting. This meeting is being streamed live, so if you do wish to address the board, you know that you will be on the live stream. Just a heads up so you're aware of that. Are there any people in the audience today that would like to address the board with anything that is not on the agenda? We would do that during our open part of the meeting, and we want to allow you some time if you have a comment that you would like to make or whatever. Seeing none, how about board members? Are there any items on the agenda that you would feel are a conflict of interest? Seeing none, I would indicate a
motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion by Hatton to approve the agenda, second by Van Duzen. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. How about action
Move to
to
approve as emailed.
approve of the minutes of the February 5th meeting? We have a motion by Hatton, second by
I'll second.
Gable. Any discussion? Any comments? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go right to opening the bids. Should we wait till Rick is here?
Rick had an emergency. He will not be here today, so what we're going to do is we're going to open and record the bids. We'll take action next Tuesday when Rick can be here.
All right, okay, we can certainly do that. So let's proceed with that then, okay? You have in front of you the comment sheets, the bid sheets. And Cindy, you're going to handle the...
Is Steve coming for the weed part, the chemicals?
I have not heard from him. I assume he is.
All right.
All right, the first bids that we are opening is for concrete pipe. We have two bids, one
Okay.
from Chemcast, or is it Semcast, and one from Forterra. And this is the tricky part.
Can you spell that for us?
Forterra is F-O-R-T-E-R-R-A. Chemcast is C-E-M-C-A-S-T. Forterra is out of Hartford, South Dakota. No, Chemcast is out of Hartford, South Dakota. Forterra is out of Rapid City, South Dakota.
Okay,
All right. 24-inch concrete pipe.
yep.
All right, reinforced concrete pipe, is that what we're looking at?
Yep.
24-inch. Okay. You know, this is not something I'm
Yeah, there's a lot of,
experienced in. There's a lot of sheets
You got a lot of
here.
paper there.
Okay, these are
Steve-
all class 3, 24-inch from,
Come on
would
up.
Steve know how
Forterra.
to read some
Come
of
on
these
up,
bids?
Steve.
I
We're not really sure.
Maybe you can
don't
help us
think
with
so.
this.
Steve, we're glad you're here.
24-inch class 3, 24-inch class 3 from Forterra is $31.06
That's per foot.
Per foot,
per
yeah.
foot, yep. 36-inch is $56.86. This is all Forterra. 60-inch.
Sometimes they don't bid them all too, I think, from other years.
They
but-
do, but there are so many descriptions on here. I'm not sure if I'm reading the correct thing, but I'm going to read it. If we need to correct it next week, we will. It looks to me like, let me compare it with the 60-inch here.
Would it be appropriate for the ones who bid it, if they're here, to
Is there anybody from either business here?
Forterra?
Chemcast or Forterra.
Because this 60-inch one, I am a little hesitant on.
Well, okay, we'll just put a line in there, okay?
Yeah.
Not all companies do everything.
No, they
No.
don't.
Nope.
And this is round pipe. All right. Hang on. I think I can figure this out from last year's stuff.
Darn, you had your ringer off, we could have had donuts.
Call JT's phone,
helps.
quick.
But maybe you've
Okay.
seen us, and like,
Now you're,
okay.
now you're.
Yeah,
put me on
this is
speaker.
right. All right, okay. 60-inch is $158.49. And those are all Forterra.
Yep,
All right, Chemcast, 24-inch is $27. 36-inch is $52. And 60-inch is $215. And that was Chemcast.
Is those delivered prices?
I would guess. I think they
I
usually
believe that,
are.
yeah. It has to be. It has to be, yep.
They usually do.
All right, so those are the only two bids. We'll read through all of these, and after we're done, I'll take a motion to
We'll just put
delay awarding of the bids until
next week.
next week or whenever Rick can be here.
Yeah.
All right, pre-stressed concrete bridge deck.
Same two companies.
Same two companies. There we go. "40-inch with a 23-inch depth."
Yep.
This is Forterra, 40 by 20. $4,722.
Is that Sumcast?
No, I'm sorry, this is Forterra.
Say that, 4,000.
4,722. And the 50-inch, 50-foot, 30-inch, 6,860. Last year, Chemcast did not have a bid.
How does this compare to last year?
Last year, the pre-stressed concrete bridge, the 40 by 23 was 4722, and the 50 by 30 was 6860. So it is the same. Yeah. Does not look to me like Chemcast bid. They did not. They did not bid.
That's the only one we got.
All right, and then the concrete box culverts.
Same
I
two?
don't see anything from Chemcast and from Forterra, 8 by 8. $481. And the 10 by 10, $595, and those are the same amounts from last year.
An 8 by 8 is
The
400?
8 by 8 is
481.
481. 10 by 10 is 595.
Per foot?
8 foot by 8 foot, 10
No,
foot
it's
by
an
10 foot.
8-footer.
8 by 8,
Yeah, but
10 by
the
10.
linear- Yeah, that's the space, but the linear.
These are,
That's how it's,
they're
Box
box
culvert
culverts.
is 8 by 8.
Yeah, they're
That-
just
that
box
don't seem-
culverts.
That
It's
don't
gotta be
seem
by- it's gotta
right.
be by foot.
It's 8 feet high and 8 feet long.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
8 by 8.
8 by 8, but
That's what we've
$481
always
just
bid.
doesn't seem,
I don't think it'd be 8
Replace
feet
the
long, it'd be
amount
8
don't
feet
seem
tall and
right.
8 feet wide.
we should replace
Not
all the
long.
bridges.
the length of the section is 6 foot. The span times the rise is 8 by 8. Does that mean anything?
yeah.
Span times rise?
Yeah,
All right. The weight is 22,600 pounds.
yeah, it's heavy.
We do not bid that way, we're only bidding by this way, so.
Thank
All right,
goodness.
let's go
Weigh it
to
up.
corrugated metal pipe.
Oh,
We
my
got some
goodness.
experts in the crowd here now, so we got
All
some
right.
help.
Yeah, these could be, All right.
Job
All right.
security, Cindy.
You're doing fine. You're doing good.
Corrugated metal pipe, it looks like we have one bid from True North Steel.
I see the envelope.
Sure, True North Steel is out of Huron,
Yep.
is that right? Okay.
They used to be known as, I think there was another name before.
Here in
Yes.
Culvert.
All right, theirs is a little, all right. 18-inch by 16 gauge. Is 1770. Nope, sorry, 1470. I'm sorry, I was in the wrong column. 1470.
Okay.
And then 24-inch by 16 gauge is 1862. 30-inch by 14 gauge, 2940. 36 by 14 gauge, 3528. And that was for the corrugated metal pipe.
Yep.
It's just the one bid on that?
Just the one bid, yep.
What Cindy is doing, she's highlighting all those that she's reading to us, so when Rick reviews this, he can look at.
All right, next is 5x1
Oh,
corrugation.
Yep,
All right.
that's right. And just the one bid again?
Just the one bid.
Okay.
60-inch by 14 gauge, 5310. 72-inch by 12 gauge is 9991. 96-inch by 12 gauge, 13390.
90 what?
13390.
Okay.
And the 108-inch by 12 gauge is 15038.
Okay.
That's last.
Corrugated iron.
All right. Arched, okay. 60-inch class, 72 by 44 12 gauge. This is a little different. Looks like it's $79.38. And the 72-inch class, 12 gauge, 99 or 9506. And the 108-inch is 14308.
Okay,
And I will make sure Rick double checks all of these.
you bet. How about lumber?
Bridge lumber, this is from True North Steel, it's the only one I've got. They have bid the plank, $3,060 per, what? Okay, MBF. And this is a part truckload, is that correct?
What's that?
Part truckload from stock.
You can
Okay. Okay, and that was the only bid. I don't see any bids for the creosote or the wood posts. Okay.
Diesel fuel, now this is our category, now we can all relate to this.
Last year, we did not receive a bid for diesel.
That's right.
We have one bid this time from Sioux Valley Co-op. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be a little different than what we asked for, but we'll note it. Okay, bulk transport loads. Fieldmaster Premium Dyed Diesel, option 1.
And these are to the outlying, I
Nope,
think,
this one is to,
for the bulk loads.
this is the bulk. We've got bulk loads and we've got delivery to the 500-gallon storage tanks. Problem is, they did not bid last year, so I have nothing to go by. I'm just going to record these bids.
Okay.
Fieldmaster Premium Dyed Diesel, $2.41 per gallon. This is a bulk transport load. I don't know where it goes on your sheet.
How much was it?
$2.41 per gallon. E10, $2.22 per gallon. This is also bulk transport. E30, $2.12 per gallon. E85, $1.69 per gallon. And then delivery to 500-gallon storage tanks, the Fieldmaster Premium Dyed Diesel is $2.51 per gallon. E10 is $2.32 per gallon. E30 is $2.22 per gallon. E85 is $1.79 per gallon. There is no bid being submitted for diesel, for number 1 diesel, as they cannot forward contract these products. Option 2, this is option 1, that was the firm bid. Option 2, which we did not ask for, but they always provide it to us, is to stay with the current bid of 6 cents off per gallon of all products of posted cash price minus the federal tax of 0.244 cents on diesel and 0.184 on gas. The total deduct would be 0.304 on diesel and 0.244 on gas. So that would take care of the diesel fuel and the gas all. All right, liquid asphalt, we only have one bid, and that is from Flint Hills out of Marshall, Minnesota.
What was it called?
Flint
Flint
Hills
Hills?
Resources out of Marshall, Minnesota. Okay, the MC 70 through 3,000 is $654.64 per ton. The MC 3000, which also goes in that same category. The first one was MC 70, the second one is MC 3000, that's $599.64. The AE 150s, $416.17, and there is no bid on the MC 3000R.
Okay. The only bid we had, right?
Correct.
Pea gravel.
Pea gravel, we have one bid, and it's from Northern ConAg. Okay, pea gravel. $5.50 per ton, comparable to $5.35 last year.
A little bit higher. Rocks in
The
my
next
backyard.
bid is for gravel crushing, and we have one bidder. And that is Brownlee Construction out of Watertown, South Dakota. The half, okay, let's go down here.
Half inch.
Half inch is $2.98 per ton. 5/8 inch, $2.58 per ton. And the 3/4 inch is $2.20 per ton. Those are all the same as last year, with the exception of the 3/4 inch, which dropped from $2.24 last year to $2.20 this year.
Okay. Hang on, we're getting close. Cindy, asphalt.
We have one bid, and that is from Dunick, and they are out of Princeburg, Minnesota. Cold mix, $129 a ton. That was $116 last year. The hot mix, 1/2 inch, $74.50 per ton. That's up $1 from last year. And that is the virgin mix. And then there's another 1/2 inch that is,
Reconstitute.
yeah, and that is $69.50 per ton. That was $65 a ton last year. And then the 3/4 inch is $67.50, which is down $8 from last year.
That first number was $129.
Yeah.
$129 for the cold mix, and that is the only bid.
You did good.
All right, so let's have a motion to delay action on the bids for 1
I'll
week
make the
or until
motion.
the highway.
We have a motion by Van Duzen, a second by Commissioner Waterman. Any discussion? Any discussion? We're going to delay this, award the bids, hopefully next week, but make sure that Rick is here so he has a chance to review them. Any discussion?
Oh, sorry, let me do that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, let's go on
you
then
have
and do the chemicals.
Yep,
It's not an eject button.
Now we're live.
Van Diest out of Webster City, Iowa, and Hefty out of Watertown. There you go.
Where's Van Diest out
Hefty
of?
out of Watertown, Van
Out of
Diest
Iowa.
is out of Iowa, but they have a plant.
They have two
Somewhere.
warehouses, or a couple warehouses. One they have in Pierre, another one they
Right.
have Granite Falls. They just set one up here a year ago. And then down in Nebraska they also have, so it kind of serves sections of the state, so.
And Hefty's in our backyard.
Yep. I will start out with Van Diest. On the aquatic glyphosate, $13.83 per gallon
Sorry, I was,
for the aquatic
but
glyphosate
which
from
Van
Van
Diest?
Diest, yes.
Okay. And please repeat the
I said
amount.
it's Van Duzen.
$13.83.
You don't want me mixing your chemicals.
All right. All right.
Okay,
I think I'm
the
squared away.
glyphosate, $11.34. Plateau, he sent two forms, the Plateau, the BASF, that is at $303.99, or 103, excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, wow, 103.99,
Big jump there.
yeah. And then the generic is $98.99,
Those are
Those
both
are
a dollar
both.
less than last year?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
all right, 2,4-D amine, $9.98, and that is in a 250-gallon tote.
It's per gallon in
Per
a
gallon,
200.
yep, per
Okay,
gallon,
yes.
per gallon.
And you can handle a 250 gallon tote.
Yep. We got set up a few years ago for that,
Yep.
so. The 2,4-D ester in a 250-gallon tote per gallon, $9.98. That is quite a bit down, I believe.
Yeah, it was $12.93 last year.
The Tordon 22K, I got for the 2.5-gallon jugs, $43.98 per gallon.
That's down $2.
And the 30-gallon drums, $43.98,
Same price.
same price. I was looking at the possibility of probably saving some money in jugs.
Funny, it doesn't make a difference.
Funny it don't, yeah, correct.
Less jugs to throw away.
Grazon next, 46.14 per gallon.
That's an increase over last year.
And then I have the surfactant, $10.39. He's got two brands here.
Okay.
On this one. The first one was Brewer, 9010. The second one is Premier 90. That is at $20.62 a gallon.
Ooh, so where's the 1039 come in then?
That is on one brand. I don't know. I'd have to go and find out of the two.
Okay.
What's the difference?
1039 was the bid
Bid
that we
last
had last
year.
year, yeah.
So do you think it was that brand again last year that is the same?
Yes. The other one I have to find out why. I have to research that one to see why it's so much different since
Okay.
that. So
Hefty.
now we'll go to Hefty. The Aquatic, $19 per gallon. Hefty didn't get a bid in last year, so. The Roundup, or glyphosate, $13.40 gallon. The Plateau, $138.50 per gallon. The 2,4-D amine, $9.10 per gallon.
That's in the 250 tote.
Yeah, he's actually got it in 265 totes,
That's close.
so. Okay, 2,4-D ester, $16.10 per gallon. The Tordon 22K is 2.5s, $50.40 per gallon. The 30-gallon drums, $50.25 per gallon. Grazon next, $36.50 per gallon. And a non-ionic surfactant, $10.80 per gallon.
And I bet you that's what that
1080.
other one is, that
$10.80 per gallon.
Yeah, the one,
non-ionic.
right,
Yeah.
yep.
Steve, so did your bid specs specify a 250-gallon tote?
Yes,
And he bid this
in a 265.
265? Is
Yes.
that why he can come in at a lower price? I
That
don't know.
I cannot tell you for sure.
I don't know if
I
we
don't
can-
know. They in the past and stuff like that, they have delivered in 265. The totes they're the same size tote, but they're filled above the line mark of the.
Okay, well, my
So-
only question is he able to come in at a lower price
Because
because
of
it's
of
265?
15 more gallons, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that something we can add into the process next year?
Right.
Like to add, 250, 265?
Or, yeah, we could probably turn around and, or equivalent, or something, probably
that-
write it up that way.
Minimum,
Yeah,
minimum
two-
250-gallon
yep,
tote?
Yep.
That way.
Is that difference between 250 and 265 caused you any problems in the past?
No, it has not.
Generally, they just refer to
The
it
difference
as
in price is 88 cents, and that's
Yeah.
what
mini bulk.
Right.
Yeah.
because we did not ask,
It wasn't the other company bid it at what the spec was.
At the spec was,
Right,
and the
the
other
other
one, their probably totes come in 265, is what I'm assuming.
So the
let-
difference is how we ask
Right,
for it.
right. I will look these over, being that's the case, and then question them on that, and then I will
let's
come back. to
have a
you on
motion
that.
to delay
All right,
Steve's
make
bids.
that
Okay,
motion
a
to
motion
delay.
The word's not
I
on
made the
agenda.
motion to delay.
Who made the motion?
It should
I
have been.
did.
Waterman.
She made
No,
the
I
motion.
made the
You
motion.
seconded.
No,
You
I
made the
made the
second?
motion, Myron.
Brenda
Point
made
of
the
order.
motion.
All right. Well, everybody's talking. Point of order. Let's start over again. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, a motion by Hatton, second by Waterman. Okay, any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Steve, appreciate the help.
Here's Cindy, you can have these.
Thank you, yep.
One more thing, Steve, before you leave. What night, as a reminder, is the annual weed meeting?
I guess if you want me to do the Myers.
Steve's
No,
on
it's
the
gonna be-
agenda to
He's
do
on
his
the
report,
agenda, yeah.
he can stay
And I
there.
didn't mean to interrupt the point of
that's
order,
fine.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, we could go right on, as long as you're here, let's go on with the monthly reports, let's go on, Steve, down to number D, the weed supervisor's report, so go ahead, Steve.
All right, to inform you, Charlie, it is on Wednesday, February 27th, 6:30, will be the soup supper, followed by the meeting at 7. I will get the,
Now, is this your annual
this
weed
is my annual weed
meeting?
meeting with the
With
towns
the
and
townships,
township,
okay.
yep, and I will be sending out all the invitations
Just one more time, one more
by
time.
tomorrow. February 27th,
Yep.
6:30. It's the soup supper, followed by the meeting at 7.
Thank you.
And that is at the extension office.
At the
correct?
extension, yep, in the kitchen.
Extension building?
Yep, kitchen and extension building. As far as weed business and stuff like that, basically attended the farm show down in Sioux Falls. I'm on the end of the month. A lot of people there are Iowa and Minnesota, most of them. Did see a few from South Dakota and stuff like that. The other thing is the farm show here this past week in Watertown. I was scheduled to work on Saturday, which I had done, plus was asked if I could work it on Wednesday because the personnel from Department of Ag was not be able to come. I don't know if anybody know Ron Mooring, which has been working with the Ag Department for 19 years, had retired, and that was his retirement day. So they wanted to excuse themselves from helping out, and I did not blame. Ron Mooring is from Watertown originally here, and the intent is he is planning on moving back here later this summer to Watertown to his dad's house. His dad had passed away this past fall, so. And then I guess the weed meeting coming up. That's kind of a short one. And then besides that, moving snow.
Steve, when is that weed meeting?
February 27th.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Same
All right.
venue.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
All right. Is that it? Okay, Steve, did we get anything else that he needs to
Nope,
look
that's
at?
it for Steve.
All right, let's go back to the monthly reports with the auditor. Cindy, are you caught up?
Yeah.
All right.
We are working on the annual report, which needs to be done by the 1st of March. My office staff has been assisting Milo with his new Smart Search scanning software. They've been downstairs helping him get started on that, on and off. Other than that, it's just normal day-to-day stuff. We did have a survey that we had to fill out for the Federal Election Commission. It's kind of a requirement every other year. They want to know a lot of statistics on our previous election, absentee voters, the number of precinct workers. They wanted to know of my precinct workers, they wanted an age breakdown. Everybody like 21 and under, and then there was about 5 different age groups that we had to go through and determine which age group our election workers fell into, and it's very interesting. We need some younger people to step up to work these elections, to give these ladies who have worked forever and may not be able to handle sitting at the polls 13 hours a day anymore. We need people to step up. There's also a bill coming before the legislature tomorrow to shorten the absentee voting period, which in my opinion is why mess with something that already works? So if this bill would pass, it looks like there would be 2 separate dates, time frames for absentee voting, because by federal law, we have to mail out all UOCAVA, which is Uniformed and Overseas Citizens. We have to mail their ballots out 45 days before the election. So we have to have our ballots ready 45 days before the election, and we have to mail those out then. But then this bill, sponsors want to shorten the time period for people who come through my office.
14,
what
it's
bill number is
14
it?
days.
I think they've amended it to a little bit longer, but the original 14 days would have been 10 days, 10 business days, because it had 2 weekends in there.
What was
So
the bill number? Do you remember the bill number?
I don't remember the bill, but I think their
Oh.
concern was that they thought people are voting too early and not being educated enough on the
And
issues.
that's not their, I'm sorry, it's House Bill 1178. That's not for them to worry about. It's to the voter. It's
Yeah.
up to the voter to be informed.
Yes, and they're taking that right.
Shortening the absentee voting period is not going to help anything, in my opinion. And in fact, it's going to overwhelm the office. It could make more people actually go out to the polling place, which is going to put more stress on my polling places. Right now, the number of people that come through my office and vote early takes a lot of stress off of the polling places out in the county. So it's not a bill that any county auditor is in favor of. Like I said, I think it's been tweaked a little bit, but
It's not showing any amendments on the line right now.
this came from the Secretary of State's office that they thought they had changed.
It might just not be updated.
It's possible, yeah. The hearing is tomorrow.
So is it still in committee then? Is that what-
Yes,
Okay.
it is. It's still in committee. All right, we have also heard that they might amend the bill to 30 days instead of 2 weeks, which, if you have to do your federal ballots, you have to have your ballots ready 45 days ahead of the election. Why not offer it to the people here? A lot of our snowbirds like to come in and vote in the office before they leave. That's less mailing that we have to take care of. So I hope the bill dies.
Do you have some of the auditors out there going to testify?
There's a lot of emails going around and everybody's on top of it, so. And I believe it's opposed by the Secretary of State's office also.
How about the one on the publication?
I think that one passed, and that one was a bill that would help auditors, because some of these smaller counties that just have the weekly newspapers, it's happened before in the past where they've sent their publications in to the weekly newspaper, and for some reason the publication doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, the newspaper missed it, so then the auditor's office is in violation of not getting that publication in. So what we want to do is move up the time frame. Currently, we're allowed to publish the sample ballot the week before the election. We're asking to increase that to 2 weeks before the election, just to cover any mishaps that would happen and somebody doesn't get their ballot published.
Yeah, it's like South Shore Gazette, that would be an
Right,
issue up there.
right, and a lot of the smaller counties just have a weekly paper, so, and they're small operations, so.
Right.
Anyway, that's what's going on with us.
Okay. Shauna, Director Equalization. Shauna? Good morning.
Morning, Sean.
Morning, Shauna.
I'm assuming this is on, yep. We are currently working on getting our assessment notices out. They need to be out by March 1st. So we had just got all the increases and adjustments put into the computer system. We're updating all of our cards, going through everything, make sure everything's okay. We'll start printing and stuffing envelopes hopefully next week. And then they will be out in mail and we will start our appeal process.
One question, did we get that finalized, the insert?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's printed. I changed some things around and highlighted, and we put that extra thing in there that if you're in question of your right-of-way, to contact the director's office because they vary from road to road. That was one of the complaints, that nobody knows where the right-of-way is. So we did put that in the notice and tried to keep it simple so that they look at it without getting overwhelmed by all the language.
And go ahead and use that flashy paper again.
Oh, that flashy paper.
Yes, we have flashy
She picked
paper.
the flashy paper.
There you go.
We did have a township come in yesterday about putting snow into the right-of-ways, so it may be an issue, I don't know. So we'll see if we get calls on
That farmers are pushing the snow across?
Running out of room.
that. Everybody is running out of
They
room.
do that now a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I have for now.
Well, okay. Would you hang around?
Yep,
for-
I will hang around.
Thank you.
Number 9.
All right, let's go to Jody.
Thanks, Shauna.
Farm show is wrapped up for another year. Are
A
you?
lot of paperwork and cleaning up to do yet. So.
Yeah. John's never done all the paperwork.
First day I
since,
dressed
right?
up for a while now. Thank you all to our 4-H lunch counter volunteers because many of them have helped for many, many years and they just know what to do when they get there. They know they got cut pies, they know they got to fry hamburgers, so they just know what to do. So I thank them all for all their work and we're still cleaning up. Thank you to office staff who keep things going in the office and the maintenance staff too because they've had to move a lot of snow along with cleaning up and stuff too. So and then we finished our farm show with the Northeast Calf Show. We had 26 youth showing 44 head from 8 different counties. So some did not come because of the weather and the cold and taking their cattle out. So we had a little less this year, but we're happy to see that they came from all those other counties too. So it's just the northeast corner of our state that they come. So our shooting sports has been very active in the last 3-4 weeks. We started about January 15th, so we've been going about a month. Our BB gun kids had to take a break because of farm show because we shoot in the sale ring and they weren't quite ready to clean up and be ready for tonight, so we'll start next Tuesday again. But we have 23 youth in our BB gun, air pistol, and air rifle, and we have 70 youth in our archery program, and we meet Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So
That's good.
our BB gun instructor would like to see more kids take it, but this is more than we've had in the past. So he's been very active. I'm still waiting to hear on some of the grants that we've applied for our BB gun program because we need to update some things, get some more sights and some slings and some targets and things with our BB gun program. So working on that. And then our Strengthening Families program, we did not get any families to sign up. We've had some to think about it, but I think it's the night. We picked Thursday nights, and we may have to look at a different day of the week and may go back to Mondays or something. So maybe re-advertise it again and see if we can try some different dates. So every family is busy, and with this winter weather, we haven't had a lot of time to think about that, and we probably would have had to cancel a few nights too because of weather right now. So anyway.
Did you corner anyone?
No, I did not, and I need to work on that again
All
too.
right.
And call it the Promotion Expansion Committee. We probably will meet in April, our first meeting of this year. So I'll give a few calls out to And with civil rights, I like to try and find,
Which
Equal.
ones are open yet?
I need 4-H parent and youth, and then a non-4-H adult.
Okay,
So,
all right.
working on that, so, all right.
Thank you, Jody.
Thanks, Jody.
Okay, let's go on then to item number 7, action to approve auditor's account with the treasurer and no registered deeds fees, and you have this in your packet.
I gave you a little bit more of a report than I normally do. I thought it would be interesting. The auditor's account shows the cash and cash items on hand as of the last day of January. Shows you where our general ledger cash balances are and where our funds are deposited. About the 4th page in, the top half of that page reflects the money we collected in January and the money that we paid out in January. So January is not a huge revenue month for us, but you can see that current tax collections, we did collect $1.3 million on the new tax year. We collected some delinquent taxes from pay 2018 and pay 2017. The 4% excise tax, you can see we collected $292,000. And then our other miscellaneous revenues were just over $604,000, and we made about $1.8 million in warrants, paid in warrants. So the January 1st cash balance was just $19.4 million. At the end of January, it was $20.2 million.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Van Dusen, second by Gable.
Cindy, when they're talking about that 4% excise tax, do you know there is a bill out there right now that they are talking about? You know, when you purchase a new vehicle, there's incentives that get taken off, and so that is the dollar amount that the bill that's being introduced would look at the money.
Because right now, it looks at your total price before incentives.
It's 1108, I believe.
Okay,
I believe
okay.
that's the bill.
No, I did not know that bill was out there. I don't know if Carol knows it or not. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of people who come in and are surprised or even shocked when they do come in to pay their tax, because
it's on the total amount.
they think it's going to be on the amount less the incentives, and it's not. So I know some people have had some sticker shock.
So that is being introduced. I think there'd be
Okay.
about a $7 million decrease in some of those fees, so if that happens.
Okay.
All right, let's go on then to,
We have a motion and a second. We need to vote.
all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed, same sign.
And then I
Motion
just
carries.
need to note the Register of Deeds fees in the month of January were $24,168.75.
Yep, got it, everybody? All right, let's go on then to an abatement application, item number 8. We have that in your packet as well.
This abatement application was on a piece of property that suffered a fire on December 29th, 2017. And that would be the taxes payable in 2019.
Make a motion. Oh, you're not done yet?
I am. It's just the property is located at 326 3rd Street Northeast. I think it was early in the morning.
Yep, it's up over there. I'll make a motion to approve that
Second.
abatement.
A motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any discussion? Was the facility was completely
Well,
destroyed?
just the property had a loss due to fire. I don't
Where
remember.
was that at, Cindy? 3 what?
It was right off of Highway 81 on
Oh,
3rd
okay.
Street. Do you remember it? It was
Yep.
early in the morning.
Yep,
Was
I
it a
do
garage?
It spread into the house too. so-
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. There was
Yes.
significant
Yeah.
It was
damage.
a rental property, I believe, so, yeah, motion and a second, we just need to vote.
Yep. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's go to item number 9, discussion with representatives from the Watertown Development Company regarding the county discretionary formula. And we have an audience here that would like to come on forward. Come on up. Shauna, we want you to, Morning, Chris. We're doing well.
I could show it on the screen.
I could send it to you.
I love showing things on the screen. I'm the guy, so.
What's that?
I'm the
Thanks.
IT guy. I can show things on the screen.
Thank you.
Good morning. Chris Shilkin, Executive Director of the Watertown Development Company. Thanks for allowing this discussion on the agenda today. We've been having some conversations about being more competitive and offering other incentives in Cottington County and then, of course, the City of Watertown to help facilitate projects. I handed out some talking points just for some reference. And so you can take notes. If you have any questions, we can certainly talk about those. So just a brief recap. Some incentives, why incentives are used in economic development. They're a critical economic development tool. They're used to attract and retain investment within a community to lower companies' costs of doing business. And we also, as you guys know, it's a competitive world out there. So we face pressure to develop incentive programs that rival other places that are competing for the same jobs, same projects we are. And those are a major factor in the location process. Some of the benefits to offering incentives, number of jobs created, types of jobs. If you're looking to expand to a new sector of business, you can help incentivize those positions. Helps with wages, lower the development cost. Level of investment the company is willing to make, contribution to a given cluster or strategic sector. That also helps, another key is with the expansion here. So let's just use the Terex project, for example. They were getting offers of free land and, longer tax abatement process at 0%. So, we look at it as a recruitment tool, but it's also a key tool in retaining business that's already here. Other examples, it lowers the cost of new construction and helps promote the housing developments, including apartment buildings, which then would offer affordable housing options if you can lower their development costs and ongoing costs for a period of time. On there too, we listed some economic development tools that are used. I won't list all of them. And the property tax abatement is the most common incentive used in the industry. It's been a standard for many years, different levels of the way it's used, but it has been around for quite a while. And allows eligible businesses to enjoy the benefits from its investment without paying the immediate high taxes that would come along with the project. So currently, as you know, any construction or any project that's $30,000 or more in assessed value is broke out by 20% the first year, 40% the second year, 60% the third year, 80% the fourth year, and 100% the fifth year and then after.
Those numbers should be reflected in the copy of the resolution that I put in your packets. Okay.
Yep.
So through some discussion with some commissioners and others, our goal is that we would take the discretionary formula and the percentages that are laid out and switch those to a 100% or would be 0% across for the 5 years of any eligible project the way it's written now. We'd like to keep it as simple as possible so that we aren't changing a bunch of rules and a lot of hoops to jump through. And I think it would go a long way showing that we're committed to new projects, committed to facilitating investment. We're working on 3 current projects right now that are all requesting 0% for longer than 5 years, even though the state does not allow to go over the 5-year period. So, speaking from experience in other places, I mean, they're offering 0 for 10 years, staggering it up even after 10, not even to 100. So I think this would go a long way in helping our competitiveness in projects and showing that we're willing to facilitate some more.
Okay, any questions for Chris or Shauna?
I don't really have a question, but I guess I have a comment on some of these, like you say, incentives. If you don't offer something, you will lose it. So you have to look at it as a way that you may not get some of that for those 5 years, but then after you will have that, and if you don't offer it, you may never get it.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, once the buildings are up, they're not going away, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, my question would be, this is not on the land. Is it on the land? No, not on the land, it's on the improvements or the structure.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Do you have any hypothetical examples, Shauna?
Sean, I'll have you move towards the mic there. So we can
Oh, I'm
get you-
sorry.
That's all right.
Well, right now, a new building comes in, like Terex isn't done yet. So if we were to implement this, it would be implemented on the Terex building. I know that the land was owned by Watertown Development Company, I think, but the land increased quite a bit just because now it's going from ag to a commercial use. So you're gonna get all the revenue from that. However, when the building is built, say it's $1 million. So we would put on, normally for the 2020 assessment, due and payable 2021, we put on 20% of that each year. So the first year would be 20% and go up. What Chris is wanting to do is to put that at $0. You're still gonna have the land, but then the building will not go on until that 6th year, but it'll go on at 100%. So there's no assessments that are dropping. You're still gonna get, we're still assessing everything. It's just a different formula for them to use. But I did look up, we have about 75 million assessed dollars. These are assessments that's in the discretionary formula right now. We have about 345 parcels in varying stages. They could be 20, 40, 60, 80, or at that 105th year. For me, anytime I can lower assessments is a great day for us. And in the long run, if this works, that would be amazing. But it's really, up to the commission. The commission is the one that gets to decide how this discretionary formula folds out for the 5 years. I know Brookings, everyone that I've really talked to, they kind of stay close to that 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I know in Brown County, they wanted to get a certain building, and so they did go to a 0 for 5 years, so that building would come, because it was a difference of it going North Dakota or Brown County. So, I mean, it worked there, but...
And this is a blanket situation. I mean, it's not on a job-by-job situation. It's a blanket.
Right.
And it's on,
The resolution would be a blanket.
it's on $30,000 or more.
Yes,
assessment.
Anything that's over
$30,000.
30,000.
So that's existing or new then?
It's any additions or new,
So
but
throughout
anything
the
that
expansions.
is currently in the discretionary right now would still finish out at what
Where they're
they're
at.
currently at. So it would
Okay.
be for any new things after, things that were done after this was implemented.
I think it's important as a commission that we take a look at what's going on in our area here. The Development Corporation, the City of Watertown, as well as Connington County, all have a huge interest in bringing business and people to our community to support our area. We're losing out on big projects that are moving to other jurisdictions because they can't get these tax breaks. I think my visit with Chris is that it's time for us to start thinking outside of the box. State law allows us to do this, and I think it's something that we really should look at to implement. So I support it.
Just for the record, we do support the Watertown Development Company very, very strongly.
Yeah.
We always have. To the tune of what, Cindy? What is our obligation this coming fiscal year?
I think it's 45,000.
$45,000.
45,000.
So we are very, very supportive of economic development. We understand that. My concern, if I have a concern, is about fairness. How about all the people that have come in the past and the ones that are on the, well, Terex is a prime example. Did they miss the cutoff? Here's a question.
Terex, for this example, probably not, because they're going to be in a TIF district, so that hypothetically would be a good scenario, but with them being in a TIF, they wouldn't have realized this anyway.
So those that have a TIF don't qualify for both then?
They do
Well,
get,
But, okay.
yeah.
I guess I would add to that, I am in support of this as well. I think we need to try to do things, innovative ways to try to boost economy and economical development. And I guess it's something that you can think of it as a way that, you know, you may not get it for 5 years, but if you don't do it, you may not ever get it. So it's just something that I think we just need to try to promote to.
Commissioner Waterman, what do you say? You're thinking over there, I can tell.
Yes, I am. I've been listening very intently to what's been going on and what I've read a little bit in the past and talking to Chris and other commissioners. Sean, if we got to put up have a piece of ground and we put up $1 million building on it, does that increase the value of the land also?
It
or does the value of the
depends.
land stay the same as if
It depends on what it is, because like where Terex is currently building, that was all valued as ag land prior because they farmed it all. Well, now it's going into industrial land, so there is a big increase in that value. But if it's already on a piece, or if they're building on a piece of land that's already valued at the commercial value, then no, it wouldn't raise that land value.
So if we put up $1 million building or a $10 million building, it wouldn't increase the valuation of the land at all?
No.
Okay, that was my first question. My second comment is I'm kind of concerned, and I live rural and have a lot of rural people in my area, probably have more rural than anybody else, other than Brenda. And with the increased amount of usage that is taken away from our rural co-ops, that means that all the rural people are going to have to pay an increased fee, and I'd like to see something worked out with that, and whether it's well known or not, but after talking to one of the commissioners, or one of the commissioners, but one of the committee people from the Coddington Clark Electric, we are, as a co-op, have to buy in the future 18% of our electricity from wind. Wind is a lot more expensive. The city does not have to buy anything from wind. And I'd like to see some way of sharing those revenues for the electricity with the city and the county and the Coddington Clark Electric.
I guess I'd like to, I don't know how that has anything to do with this, because most of these are going to be within the city anyways. They wouldn't be affecting out
No, it's
into-
not, but it's part of a bigger factor, bigger picture.
I think what Harley's referring to is cooperation.
Yes.
I think that's probably the word that's told in that.
Well, frankly, I don't understand how this wouldn't be cooperation between the city, the county, working together. We're in this to make our area, to help revitalize our area. So those people moving to the city, you know, I get so tired of hearing about city and county. You know, we're in this together. And the thing is if these people don't come to our area, they're not going to buy property in Coddington County. And we're not going to generate the property tax. So, you know, to say that somebody needs to bend over to, you know, backwards to scratch our backs if we scratch theirs, that's not what this is about. Chris?
That's a good point. You know, and to me, it's all about business-friendly atmosphere. Certainly, we do receive requests for projects that would be countywide, just based on acreage and the usage are going to be that aren't allowed in city limits. We just haven't had any hits on those that have come all the way to fruition, but we have certainly got RFIs that would be, you know, 100-acre county site that would use rural electric, all that good stuff that would have to be sited in a rural setting. And in my opinion, this is perfect when you go back to the fairness conversation. It's across the board. So you're not picking and choosing like Brown County did to offer one segment a 5-year no tax deal. This is anybody that does anything would be here. So I agree with that, and I don't want to turn it into that battle. I think this is a tool that we don't have a lot of tools in our toolbox. This is just another one that would help us as in city, county, development company, everybody, state of South Dakota.
Sure, and I think we all understand that, Chris, yeah. Commissioner Gable, your thoughts?
I like the idea of it. To me, it's an issue of kind of threading the needle to find out exactly what the best incentives are to balance out between, foregoing a bit of revenue and bringing in the business. So I think
We wouldn't be foregoing revenue because the taxing districts are still going to be able to ask for revenue. We will be losing growth probably. The other question is this going to shift the tax burden onto somebody else?
Yep.
okay.
Would be my question. Has any study been
So, Shauna,
given
can
to
you
that?
answer that?
Well, our office doesn't really deal with the tax side of it because we want
Yeah.
to be, we look at the assessment side. But for what I can see, it's exactly what Cindy said. We're going to lose all the growth that we would have gained if we were putting these on at 20, 40, 60, 80. Like currently right now we have 75 million in our discretionary formula. That's about 15 million assessed dollars a year, which does not correlate to 15 million in taxes, I promise. It's very minimum in the big scale, but then when we're not really doing, I don't know much about the tax side, but then if we're raising everyone's budgets and things are going up and we're not getting this growth, it could. I don't know. It just depends on what comes and what doesn't. You don't know. Don't.
Chris, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, it's the only thing to go back is if you don't get the projects to come, then you have zero growth anyway. So it's kind of a chicken and egg theory, and I totally get that. Some people view it as you lose something. I view it as you defer to when you collect your income. So, but certainly valid points.
And through my research, I have found out that, a few of the counties or cities, they do different ones. They do 2 or 3 different formulas. So your certain little, additions and stuff, the regular commercial would still stay at the 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Your big industrial that you want or that's asking for the tax break, they do some of those different. Our office, of course, would prefer to have one. But it's also something that, could be looked into.
So then it could be determined according to a dollar amount, basically, as a
Well,
project?
statute already sets that dollar amount. But within statute, we can change them as talking to Department of Revenue. You have regular commercial, you have industrial, you have, ag. You have different types and you can differentiate between
Different
those.
levels, okay.
So Chris, you made, in your opening statement here in your presentation, you made the comment about some jurisdictions are allowing these companies to go out 10 years. South Dakota state law only allows us to go 5 years. So how are they doing that?
Other states.
Oh, other
Yeah,
states.
other states,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
Sorry.
the nice thing about going this way is I don't think any other county or city does 0 for 5 in South Dakota. So
Okay.
definitely bump us up on the competitiveness in South Dakota alone, and then bring us closer to what other states are doing. And then just one other point back to Shauna's comment about, splitting them out. We could look at that, but I know we talked about it. I thought it'd be easier just to do it across the board. The tool's already there. You just have to change the numbers from, the 2040 to 0, and then you basically have the same program with a different incentive on it. And then then I think you're helping the area as a whole rather than trying to focus on certain areas.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
So when do you foresee it? When would you like to have this figured out, or a resolution?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Whenever you guys are comfortable doing that.
I think one of the things too that, like when we were talking about increasing our contributions to the Watertown development. We talked about, we're all in favor of bringing more industry manufacturers into our community, and we still cannot forget the ones that are here. And I just want to make certain that they're all right with what we would do. You know, I'd like to get some feedback from those people to find out what they think.
Well, they would benefit on any expansion under this program.
On expansion, they would benefit, yes.
They would.
Yep. The thing is, I wish that some way we would, say a new manufacturer or an expansion would occur, the dollars that they would save here, they would put into training. You understand? Because that's where we're really hurting. We need people. You know, if we could channel those dollars into education, development, job enrichment, you know, that would put a little frosting on a cake. That would help. We can't do that, though, can we, I suppose, huh?
Well, the one thing that could help existing is the overall could lower the cost of new housing. I think a couple of months ago, what I see was $15.60 is the average wage to afford a two-bedroom apartment. It's pretty high. So a couple of these projects are working on are housing, multi-family housing developments that would request this so they can keep their rents lower, which then would affect the workforce housing issue that we have.
That's exactly where I was going next. I jotted that down. I've been trying to get self-help housing here in Cottington, and the biggest hurdle is the price of the lots and the price to do the infrastructure. So this would hopefully alleviate that, and we definitely need more workforce housing for those individuals to come to our communities. So.
And to add on to that, the development company is starting a housing study for the county. So we just signed the contract last week. So a lot of that will shake out, but it's not going to solve all the problems. It's just one piece of a puzzle that helps the development costs, which we know are all high.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you had this discussion with business that's looking to come to Watertown, to our area, Cottington County?
Yeah, so the current 3 projects we're working on have all requested 0 for longer than 5 years, even though I told them that we can't go more than 5. Here's our current formula, but they have all requested 0 in some way, shape, or form.
Are these bigger industries that we're looking at?
One
I know you
industry,
can't-
there's some
can't get
industry.
into it. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get it.
There's some industry, then there's also some larger housing ones
Okay.
too that we're working on.
Perfect. Thank you.
How about shopping or anything good? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Maybe
this
we
could
get
play
Penny Gold
into
and
that
all those.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you know, going back to what I said, I think we need to think outside the box. I think it's time we do that. And so I'm glad you came.
Yeah,
We got to look
We
at
appreciate
different
that.
ways.
We certainly will mill this over and discuss it. And I know you said you wanted a response ASAP, and remember, now you're dealing with government. We work very slow.
You guys work fast, so.
With this resolution, Cindy, we would have to draft a new one, or I don't know who would be in charge of doing that. What sort of what would it look like? Who do we have?
It would look
Similar
really similar to what that is.
Just you change the
I would
numbers.
suggest that since my assessment notices are going out March 1st, that we do not change that right now.
Okay.
There's no way for us to
There is a
change
date.
everything that we have.
Yeah, there is a date that
Yeah.
you can apply it to any structures completed after. There's a specific date listed here, so that would be,
The one that we currently have was updated in 2003, I see.
yes.
So it's
The
just-
original was adopted in 1996.
This was June 30th of 1996 is what that would be. That would be the date you'd have to switch then, right?
It's something we can look at, and
Well,
we can move it
yeah.
more discussion.
Taken-
See if we can
yeah.
move it through. Yeah.
Does it need, is there a formal hearing on the resolution? Would it need like 2 hearings, or how does that?
Not on a resolution,
Okay.
no.
It just it needs to be agendized.
Just, yeah.
Correct. So that's it.
All right. Does anyone have any more questions or comments?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I could, we have some other representatives here. Would you folks like to make any comments on this?
Sure, I would. Is this on?
You're on.
it's on.
Introduce yourself, though.
I am
so-
Sarah Karen, the mayor of Watertown, and I want to thank the commissioners for thinking as a team for our region and for everything that you do to support what happens in our region. This is an economic development tool which can help to strengthen our region, and people using it, you can look at that as an investment in our future. So I think that's really great, and I'm glad to hear that you're feeling supportive of it. Thanks.
You don't want to commit yourself? All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Lee, you were going to say
No,
something?
I need to excuse myself. So
Yes.
I get on the road. So
Yep.
I apologize for interrupting. Do you mind if I say a couple of things before I go, just to hit on a couple of items later on? the
If it's
agenda?
quick.
Right.
All right,
Are we-
let
Thank you.
these gentlemen go. These
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, just, I don't have anything for number 11, so no change orders on the courthouse remodel project.
All right,
The walkthrough is scheduled for for Friday, the 15th at 11. So that's the time we get the contractor and the architect together. I'm available for that, so we'll have at least one commissioner there. Moving the CCJAC meeting that was scheduled for February 19th because of the session and dealing with some of the legislation, moving that to March 19th. So I've been in contact with the CCJAC members, so that date looks good. So not February 19th, but March 19th for the CCJAC. And you're probably seeing some of the security set up, the partitions and things go up, so I just ask the public to bear with us. It's a little confusing right now, but it won't be, it'll be less confusing as we get it figured out. So anyway, that's the idea is to make the courthouse a totally secure place, so.
okay.
I will be heading out also later this afternoon, so I will be there tomorrow as well.
Yeah. So,
Safe travels, Lee. Safe travels. Thank you for all your work
Thanks, Lee.
in promoting Senate Bill 65. Appreciate that. All right, let's go on to item number 10, note February 18th holiday closure. Another vacation. Yes, Cindy?
It's our last one for a number of months.
Number of years?
Number of months. It is President's Day, which the state and county and federal offices observe. So the courthouse and all county offices will be closed on Monday, February 18th, and I have notified the press.
All right, claims for payment. Number 12.
I laid some copies on your desk. There's just a few things that are out of the ordinary on page 2. Every year, the auditor's office purchases township packets for all of the townships to complete their annual reports. That amount is in there. In the treasurer's budget on page 2, you can see what it costs to mail out tax notices in the month of January, just over $5,000. On page 3 is our court-appointed attorney budget, partway down the middle of the page. I just want to pull that one up here. Give me a second. This is not good news
Yeah, she's going up.
because we have already spent, let me see. It's public defender. We've already spent 20% of that budget, which is too much for the second month of the year.
We even increased
Claims
that.
this month were $20,000 for court-appointed attorneys.
And we did increase that over
And we
last
did
year.
increase it, we did, but at the pace we're going right now,
Yeah.
this will not last. All we can hope for is a break. Let's see. I think those were, well, there might be a couple more highlights. On page 11, about 15 years ago, the county was able to levy some money into a courthouse building fund. After we levied for a few years, we had to discontinue that because we needed the levy for the general fund. So this little bit of money has been sitting out there, and I have to record this and file an annual report on it every month. So when the auditors were here about a year and a half ago, they recommended we just go ahead, and this can be spent on any kind of courthouse building bill. So we did apply it to the Mills construction bill so that we can zero out that fund, one less fund for us to have to track. It was $1,393.18.
Yeah.
So, and we will not be collecting any more money for that because the taxes applicable to that have either all been sold by tax deed or they've been paid in full or canceled. So anyway, the bills this month were just over $920,000 with $494,000 of that going to the state, $426,000 of that were county bills.
Move to approve.
Motion by Hanson, second by Waterman. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We don't need any budget supplements yet, do we?
No, we will have some, and the budget supplements are basically when we receive money for grant reimbursements. That's basically what those are. And we have none today. We do have one personnel change.
Yep. And some travel requests. So
Yep.
let's go right to the personnel changes. First one.
Leah Ruby is a full-time correctional officer. She'll start at step 1, $17.81 per hour.
Make a
Move to
motion.
approve.
Second.
Motion by Hanson, second by Van Duzen. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have several travel requests.
These are all for the Emergency Management Office. The first one is for Jim Sutton to attend a state incident management assistance team meeting training exercise in Brookings. The second one is for Sherry Howell and Jim Sutton to attend a National Weather Service conference in Aberdeen.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Waterman. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Any old business for the board to review? Any mature business? Any old business? How about any new business? Any new business?
Your district meeting is coming up on Wednesday, March 20th. Hamlin County is the host, and the meeting will be in Bryant. It starts at noon. Just something for you to think about. I need to RSVP by March 8th. I've heard from a couple of you already, but I will just keep this in my folder and we'll just continue with it.
And you received mine, right?
Yes,
You got mine?
yes,
Yep.
yep.
Anything else for new business? About the open? Anything for the open?
Mr. Chair, I will be going to Pier tomorrow for Watertown Day at the legislature. So
All
I'll be
right,
in
good.
Pier.
I'll be there as well. Lee will be there, so I suppose there'll be a quorum of us there.
All right, anything else?
Just make sure somebody stands in between each one of you so you're not
Yeah.
all together.
Yeah.
For the picture, you mean?
We have no requests for public comments, commissioner comments, anything from anyone? I have no requests for
Move to
executive
adjourn.
session. I
Make a motion to
would
adjourn.
make a motion. Brenda has a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Is there a
second that motion.
By Van Dusen. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.